What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Dogecoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. 38.8 cents right now. What an immaculate move yesterday, 12% up to the upside there. It's not the biggest move ever, right? But it was a larger move than the average coin made yesterday. You know, if we look at the daily chart here, the other chart was 5.8%. So if you're moving up, you know, more than double than that, you're doing pretty well for yourself. Looking at Dogecoin here, if we zoom out, and I actually want to use the all-time history chart. We look at this, we see how this thing moves. That's not the all-time history chart. This is the all-time history chart. You see how this moves whenever it decides to move up. It only knows one pace, and that's pedal to the metal, pedal full throttle to the floor, right? Every single time it's moving up. When it's not moving up, whenever it's consolidating, it's boring, it's fine. But even then, whenever it decides to have its lower highs or higher lows or whatever, or maybe not higher lows, but any kind of move up in this range, it's at that same pace, right? It only moves up at one pace is all I'm trying to get at, right? So here it appears to me as though we've moved up, we've consolidated and potentially ignited the next step, this next rally, this next phase up yesterday. We might have done that with yesterday's price action. So being that Dogecoin kind of only knows one pace, and that's the name of the game with its movements. I think looking at this all-time high from last cycle to the low, the current bear cycle low that we had there, and expecting or projecting out the minimum expected target here on the fib extensions might be worth considering, right? That's at $1.54. We could be right now in the midst of a move that works all the way up there. We can't do that. That's crazy. You know how much Dogecoin would have to move to do that? Yeah, it would basically have to move the exact same amount it did. Right, I'm going to take this line away. Wah-bam. The same, like literally, look, right, I'm going to cover up that price action right there. Boom. Right? And most of the move happened starting this week here, right there. Look at that. That week's low, it's right there. So it's got most of that move. It's not quite all of that move, but it does have most of that move. All I'm trying to say is predicting that this next move up for Dogecoin, starting now and ending at $1.54, whenever it might end, maybe it's at the end of January, maybe it's in the beginning of February or the end of February, who knows how long it takes to get there. It's a very possible outcome. It's a very, very possible outcome. I think it is, especially considering what we're dealing with here being Dogecoin, okay? From the high to a low, that 1272 at $1.54 makes sense. From this high to this low here, you have some other targets that come into mind, okay? Once you break above the 1618, which I think you will on this next move up, I think you'll break above that, obviously. The next target area based on these fibs, on this whole different set of fibs than these ones over here, right? These fibs over here are different, so when you break above that, your next target area is the 1886 to the 2618. 2618 being at the top of that, and the 2618, sometimes you do go above it, sometimes you do hit that 2886 in really powerful moves. Dogecoin is one of those really powerful coins, man. I don't know. This to me gives more of a reason to believe maybe you don't hit $1.54, or maybe you even go a little bit above $1.54, or maybe, right, you stop like at $1.23. So somewhere $1.23 to $1.63, I'm liking that zone. Something that's well above $1, but obviously not like anywhere near $2, right? I like that zone from a high to a low. I wonder if we can get a fib. Would this provide us a fib that works as well? Maybe. 3113, kind of in that area, yeah. High ranges, you're stopping at the 2. Yeah, you could actually. That one makes sense as well. There is a little bit of significance coming in at this 86-cent area. It is very possible. I would say the minimum expectation at the moment, you're at 38 cents now. The minimum expectation by the end of this move, which I suspect would be by the end of January, if not the very beginning of February, but likely the end of January, would be 86 cents minimum expectation. You're at 38 cents now. Dogecoin by the end of January, minimum expectation is new all-time highs, 86 cents. Maximum expectation is $1.63. Realistic expectation somewhere around $1.50 to $1.20. Yes, that's my realistic expectation, is that Dogecoin by the end of January, if not maybe the first couple of weeks of February, the first half of February there, somewhere in that time frame, will be at $1.23 to $1.54 in price. Yeah, and I think it starts now, man. I think it's starting now. I think it's about to do some crazy, crazy stuff. I mean, just look at this. Take this into consideration here, right? It's not quite the exact same readings, and it's not the same market, so of course it won't be, but you got pretty overbought over here, and then you went down and you found support out of the overbought zone, and then you went up, right? And in that time frame, you had your move up here, you consolidated, then you moved up again, right? In this move, the next move took a little bit longer to achieve, but look at that. It's basically the same height, right? From like where it started. I didn't take it from the low, but like where it started, which I think right there is about suitable. It's the same height, same move. Doing that here, right, that puts you, we've already established that that kind of move, that same kind of move would put you above $1, right? If we were starting that here. Puts you like at $1.30, right? So just seeing that, you got out of your overbought zone, found support out of it, and then came back into it. Overbought as hell, out of your overbought zone, bouncing off the 60. That's actually a really bullish thing. Getting back into it. It's not the same exact look, but the same kind of idea, right? Nevertheless. Even here, overbought, down to the 50, overbought. This is more overbought, and you're bouncing at the 60 instead of the 50. It's overall more bullish conditions. Obviously, that was even more bullish conditions, but still similar idea. Overbought, now you're not. Overbought, overbought, now you're not. Overbought. What'd you do here? Well, you moved up beforehand, got overbought, consolidated. Now you're not overbought. Stronger move, big move. At least the same move, right? This one back here was the exact same pace, or not the same pace, but the same size as this move here. This move here was smaller than that move here. Maybe the next move is the same size as this, or maybe it's bigger. It's possible, right? But I'm just looking at that and thinking, you know, we probably do see new all-time highs by the end of this, guys. I'm not seeing any other kind of things to compare it to back there. I will say, though, again, just one more time, bouncing off of your 60 on the RSI, a couple of coins are looking like this. It's a really nice look. Not only that, but if you put a low right there, a line right at that low, you found resistance here time and time again as well. So you're finding support at previous areas of resistance on the RSI. That's a good look as well. Monthly RSI looks to get back in the overbought zone. Good stuff, man. Yeah. I think I got nothing else to say. 3-day time frame, bullish engulfing candle broke out. You're definitely on your way. So I'll just end the video with that, man. I think that you're moving up to anything from like $1.20 to $1.60. At a minimum, 80-something cents, new all-time highs. I think it was 86 cents. At a maximum, $1.60. More likely something between like $1.20 to $1.50, somewhere in that range. By the end of January, if not the first couple of weeks of February. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.